Oh my
God.
goodness. We are
We're trying to catch
this
our breath.
was an attempt to go live at 10:30 as we usually do.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there was an alleged technical difficulty
With
that
YouTube.
led us to all kinds of empty-headed, like just kind of unassailable, ridiculous. Anyway,
I've got a title for it.
what?
Through the Perverse Looking Glass.
Exactly. All right. So
here we are.
Oh my goodness. We worked for this. We earned this.
We really did.
You know, so it just seems
share this video like the wind.
So we are now we drank our tea. It was like
actually
so anyway.
you
true,
our
true.
tea.
Tea's tea. You stuck with us in one of our worst nightmares.
Which
you were there by our side.
I had two and a half sips.
I don't even think you got a second.
No,
I don't think
I
you got
didn't.
a full half sip on that last
I had
drag.
1 7/8 sips.
Maybe. So episode 84, Technique is Generator, what it can offer us for new work. All right. So basically, here we are, Bruce Gemmell, Julie Rauer, two misanthropes, iconoclasts, whatever you want to call us, just doing whatever we do. This is episode 84. We are
speculists.
Exactly, which were the Julie
unappreciated
invented. Exactly.
Speculists.
Not to be confused with that thing that women see in the gynecologist's office.
Oh, I like your dead ringers joke. Yes.
I like that. Oh, I love Dead Ringers. That was an amazing movie.
It was. Let's get to our
It's like I was like that was the one with Jeremy Irons and his twin brother.
Oh yeah, and those horrifying, terrifying medieval, which is how they actually look, gynecological tools, and I can't say enough really bad things about those tools.
No, it's true. Exactly.
Anyway,
and I mean, honestly,
honestly,
you could have done better work on women with DeWalt than you do with you could have just used
at least it would have been black and orange and sounded like a bumblebee.
Exactly.
It would have.
All right. So
anyway,
Technique is Generator.
A little Hymenoptera joke. Get it?
Oh, Hymenoptera. Man, we're like, you know what?
That's a great pun.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, YouTube is responsible for this. So if anyone gets a problem, blame YouTube. That's true. All right. So
okay, we were just the collateral damage of a technical system that is deeply flawed. Okay,
yes, exactly.
I have some important things to say. Okay. So on Saturday night, when we do our 1 hour show, I will be talking about 5 specific individuals who I think are apex ziggurat examples of using the techniques they themselves invented as generators of their incredible, imaginative, pioneering, groundbreaking work. The first is the German paper cutout and silhouette animator Lotte Reiniger.
Epic. I was watching. You know what? This is the 100. Found out today. This is the 100-year anniversary of the Adventures of Prince Ahmed,
which was, as it was made in 1926, is the only and first surviving full-length animated feature.
An epic piece of work.
And
one of the greatest piece of works ever.
Yes. She invented the multi-plane camera.
Why are you index fingering me?
Because I was speaking and you were also speaking, and then was speaking and you were speaking.
I will cease
speaking. I was trying
speaking.
to be subtle. So the multi-plane camera, which I have photos of, and which if you tune in on Saturday, you will see, is a room-size apparatus of glass sheets, which allows paper or puppet animated figures to actually have an incredible depth of field, to actually exist in one plane while things are going on in the mid-ground and background in the other. She invented it, Lotte Reiniger, with her then husband, while they were hiding out in an attic from the Nazis. So pretty amazing to invent something while you're in hiding for your life. So we will be talking about, and no one can do a silhouette paper cutout to this day like she could.
No, no one ever will. It was just that. I mean, I was watching it today, and it just kind of reassured me of like the reality of Consequence. It's undeniably brilliant. Anyone who watches the Adventures of Prince Ahmed doesn't come away with just like an absolute sense of kind of like understanding the consequence of things of genius, is just lying to themselves.
And the classical Russian score, the groundbreaking invented typefaces that she used that were hand drawn,
everything,
and the color cells in the background.
Yeah. So these other people you'll be talking about, is one of them our little cello friend?
Oh, I think that it should be.
Okay. Well, actually, I'll too, because honestly, our little cello friend has actually been very much a part of this idea. Because I mean, one of the things that has been incredibly inspiring has been the fact that I would say that the two people I know, because using examples from the past is relevant to the past, but I think in terms of like the new time, which again is something we're going to talk about next week, is the idea of how does that consequence reveal itself at a point of this particular precipice. I mean, at this particular new horizon, how are the particular abstractions and analogies and metaphors, specific, what are
thirsty.
They? Oh, sorry, P.
It's okay. Anyway, you asked who else I will be talking about.
Yes, I did.
I will be talking about Paul Klee, who actually invented many, many ways to draw, make prints, and paint that had never been used previously. One is oil transfer prints. He actually invented a way to actually use some pretty heavy duty thinners and solvents, which actually were the prime drivers for the scleroderma that ultimately killed him at age 60. They are highly toxic. Kids, don't try this at home. The organic paint thinners and solvents are incredibly dangerous to this day. Not just that, he was also conscripted to paint the camouflage on World War I airplanes. I don't know if you also know that, which also was a contributor. But anyway, Klee used all sorts of materials that no one had ever used, not just painting surfaces, the way he layered paints, the way he layered sand and other substances that were not used.
Let me say, based on the genius of the early 20th century art, was that something that by consequence made for the kind of like just ruinous relationship between art at the end of the 20th and into the 21st century? Is it possible that their genius was just so overwhelming that we haven't recovered? Because I mean, honestly, it's like you think about people who were not just kind of like epic in terms of their technique as generator, that he made it such that it became such an incredibly lofty kind of circumstance that few have ever been able to kind of follow in that lineage. So it's like, you kind of find a kind of a time of great genius, which is followed by incredible mediocrity, because they weren't the people. I mean, we've talked, and I think that's a reasonable kind of supposition, because I look at the fact that when I look through not just Klee, but all these other people, Kandinsky, Van Gogh and all these people, you look at the fact that the things that they generated were so broad and so deep in their scope that it made it impossible really at a certain point to follow, because at a certain point, you kind of had people who were almost gods in comparison to the people who had been previous, or those people who would come after. So it was kind of, and has been pretty like underwhelming. So, I kind of think that art may even be worse off than architecture. Okay. I think that, right now I'm starting to see that at least the potential for circumstance within the architectural world, but, anyway, so back to my P.
Yes, we will also be.
I'm allowed to speak in the interim.
Of course you are.
P is absent.
You're so adorable.
Otherwise I just sit here.
Okay. So we will also
Okay.
be talking. Yes, we
Oh,
will be
okay.
also talking about Max Ernst's pioneering painting
Mhm.
techniques. Also, what he called psychic automatism. Now that goes right into Freud, and Freud was a major driver of the surrealist art movement because the subconscious now came into, pardon the phrase, the conscious mind of the public and those who actually sought to manifest the subconscious human mind. You'll have to excuse my brain is fried because it's like 100 degrees Fahrenheit, but I will be talking about the inventions of Ernst called frottage, grattage, decolomania, and dripping, all of which were stolen by future artists and never done as well.
Yeah, and also like Liszewski's Prowns,
Yeah.
where kind of like, the fact that he kind of people started to work in between art, between painting and sculpture and architecture specifically. That was another thing. But I think what I'll try to focus on are what are the potentialities of this particular technique generating consequence that would lead us to basically the age in which we're entering as we move from where we were to what we are, and how it ties specifically to the consequence of period.
Yes. Yes. We will also be talking about, I plan to speak about Paganini, who invented incredible ways to play the violin, which had not been done before.
And pizza toppings.
Well, it's funny you say pizza toppings because he pioneered left-hand pizzicato.
Did he really?
Yes, he did, with anchovies and olives.
I love the pizzicato olives.
Yes, and what is called ricochet right-hand bowing techniques.
Can we talk about Louis Armstrong?
Oh, we absolutely should.
Because here's the thing is that, like, one of the things I loved about Louis Armstrong was that, like, he's the person who was, he taught himself how to make this instrument specific to him. Maybe I could talk a little bit about, if Julie lets me, I could talk a little bit about Leonardo.
You absolutely should.
Well, I should if I'm allowed. I'll see if I'll talk to our executive director.
That would be me.
Exactly.
I give you my permission. Also, what a lot of people are unaware of, and our cello friends, who we will also talk about on Saturday, use some very original plucking with the other hand. They actually almost use the wooden torso of the cello as a percussive instrument, which is fascinating, in the way that Paganini actually mistuned his violin on purpose, that a lot of people do not actually know. It's called scordatura, or raised all strings by half a step to produce thoroughly unique tonalities. So he deliberately composed and played entire pieces on a single string. So our cellist friends, who are very innovative, also have devised ways to use the cello that are really incredibly pioneering and unique.
Yeah, that's it. All right. So,
and
anything else?
Yes. I will be talking about a writer who tragically died at age 47 of a heart attack, who is Jeffrey Willen, who actually...
What? He owes me money.
Well, you aren't going to get it because
I want my 20.
Well, he died in like the 1950s.
Yeah, so that's typical. He dies before I'm born, so he gets how to give me my money back.
Hang on, I'm going to show a photo because he deserves to be seen and remembered. I think most
That's him?
people, yeah.
And he died in 1950.
Well, he actually died in 1958.
See,
And
that's just
he
it.
was
Borrows money and goes back in
the
time.
author of The Complete
What that drawing?
Molesworth. We have this book.
Oh, we do?
And I'm reading it now.
Oh, nice.
And the drawing is by Ronald Searle,
Oh, okay.
who actually lived to 92.
I get his.
But here's what we have. We have this.
Oh, we do?
Yes, we
Oh,
do.
that's nice.
I
Look
just
at
got
that.
it.
Those drawings are very simple.
Yes.
Very clean.
And why is he important?
Because he owes me money.
Innovated with the English language and created an entire lexicon of British schoolboy speak, where words are intentionally spelled wrong, but for intensely comic effect, and it is hilarious.
That's nice. We could also talk about Schoenberg and like.
Oh yeah.
But and I it's funny. In fact, I could talk about the fact that currently on social media,
yes,
because of the incredible overbearing tyranny, right, of the freedom of social media, you can't use certain terms. So I've developed. Oh, cool.
This is his book too.
So I've developed this my own spelling of words so that the words basically don't get called out as the words that they are, because
keep it under wraps.
Keep it under my eye.
That's why I call you pea pod, because you want to keep those peas in your pod.
Right. Okay. So happy that we got a chance to kind of finally be on after like 2 hours of misery.
So yeah, I mean, we actually have, and I would love to also talk about Arnold Schoenberg, as you brought up, his Transfigured Night, which I think is one of the greatest pieces of just groundbreaking experimental classical, and it is just a fairy tale.
I was thinking more about like the structures that he invented in order to kind of create possible phrasings and music
and Stravinsky also.
Yeah, true. And exactly. I was thinking about Stravinsky.
Sure, we have a lot.
But there were so many people who might end up being one. The last one was a two-parter. We'll have to go back to that.
I think that.
All right. So anyway, let's wrap it up. It's too late. I'm tired. I should have been asleep an hour and a half ago.
Should have at least. We got on. It's been quite a week.
All right. The realm of ideas is free to all, and it's real. And it's to the benefit of us all, to us to keep it like that.
It feels real. It makes you sweat.
Stay free.
Precisely.